All right, so it says spoiler talk right in the title. So if you're here and you get spoiled, it's your fault. Now, I just wanted to say that before I said, you like that, Sadius? Boom, bitch! Right in the eyeball! You know, I got a real sword, but I didn't want to actually, like, cut my own eye out with it or something like that. So I just took my kid's, like, master sword, because it's, like, right here. So, there. Hey, it's fun, right? Dad stuff. Guys, we're here to talk some Words of Radiance spoilers. So if you haven't read the book, and I just told you the most best part of the book in the teaser, well, again, that's your fault. I don't know how much bigger I can make bright red font that says spoiler talk on the... Actually, I think this one was blue, not red. You get the point. You get the point. It's in the title everywhere. So, again, we're going to try to do as many spoilers here as I can think about, but, you know, I don't know if I can hit all of them. And, you know, honor is dead, but I'll see what I can do, right? All right, so, guys, like I did for the Way of Kings spoiler talk, it's not a beat-by-beat kind of thing. Just kind of my favorite character moment. I'm going to mess with that the whole time, ain't I? It's just kind of a, yeah, like I said, my biggest character moments. I'm going to talk about some of the things I like the most about this book, and it's tough because this is such a brilliant book. I'm going to start this time with Yasna, because the book starts with Yasna, a point of view, and I'm really excited at first because, like, I want to know a lot more about Yasna. This is great. And apparently what the plan is Sanderson is going to give you the point of view of a different character for the same prologue of every book in the first 5. That is so cool. So we're all going to be at the day that with Gavilar was assassinated. So it's a really neat idea that I guess way more intrigued to see how many different points of view. It's like, I think Dalinar's hammered on that day, right? So are we going to get his point of view to open up the next book? I hope so. That'd be really, really great. Yeah, she soulcasts for the first time. So it's a nice peek behind the curtain. But for me, the biggest holy shit in this book is Yasna'S death, right? I was just so angry. I was like, come on, Sanderson. Not even Joe Abercrombie does this. I mean, I didn't know anything about this woman yet. There's so much. She's so interesting. I want to know so much more. And you're going to kill her. But you know what? About 1,000 pages later, it turns out she's alive. You know, and I didn't even care how. I was just happy she's alive because, like I said, I just want to know more about this character. But that chapter did actually, like, really upset me. In fact, the friend that got me into this series actually texted him and said, "I'm not talking to you right now because Yasna died." He was just like zipper icon, you know. So yeah, good for him. I'm gonna keep messing with the sword, so I'm gonna throw that over there. Probably just woke up everybody downstairs. It's awesome. So yeah, but that is the first of 2 deaths. Like I said, at the time I was thinking that she was dead. So it was the first of 2 big deaths in this, which I already talked about happily. That really, really shocked me in this. So Adolin gets the most, I'd say, the most non-POV character time in this book, and I'm here for it, because I told you guys last week I love me some Adolin, so it's really, really awesome that he gets so much more development in this. Like I said, I felt like he was there in the first book, but it could have just been a, oh yeah, he's just Dalinar's son kind of character over time, but I felt like he was branched out a little more in this book in just the ways that I wanted. And he still doesn't like Kaladin, which is amusing to me. But I like that it's not just because of the Shallan thing. You know, him and Shallan are courting, or he's courting Shallan right now. So I was afraid it was just going to be one of those typical tropes where, oh, I don't like this guy because I think you might like my girl kind of thing. I was glad that it wasn't that. He just, you know, he doesn't trust him. You know what? He just saw the guy get stabbed by a sharp blade and thrown out of a window and live. I'd be a little suspicious too, wouldn't you? So I don't blame him for that. But you know what? I'd say after the major events I'll talk about here in a minute, it's kind of a reluctant friendship, and you see they're going to kind of bro hug it out here. And that's a friendship that I'm here for. As long as we do not do the love triangle. That's where I'm at with this right now, okay? Do not want a love triangle. Give Kaladin someone else. Let's just say that. But I feel like lesser fantasy stories would have made him hate Kaladin just because Shallan makes eyes at him sometimes. I really feel like lesser fantasy does that. And I'm so glad he didn't yet. But for every bit of a badass that Adolin is in duels, he's kind of a dumbass in politics. You know, he basically just wants to fight Sadeas all the time, which I'm in favor of. But you know, he's not a politician. He's definitely not. You know, so he wants to go and win all this shard plate for his family and stuff like that. And hey, Renarin got a shard plate. It's awesome, man. Let's talk about Renarin more. I think here soon. I'm gonna get off topic if I get into that one. But he just continues to see that Sadeas is just straight bitch made. And you know what? He gets what's coming to him. But I think the best chapter in the book. Best chapter in the book is when, and I feel like this is like unanimous among the fandom. The best chapter in this book is when Adolin has to fight, you know, 4-on-1 against 4 people in shard plate. And basically he's either going to die or he's going to get crippled. Basically, so the fact that when Kaladin comes to help, actually Renarin first comes to help him, freezes up, and then Kaladin comes to help him. It's just such a great and intense chapter, even if it did end with that horrible Kaladin, you storming fool. But you know, it did take away from how awesome of a chapter it was. But yeah, it was so good. Again, probably in a book that's just full of favorite moments. That's the one that when you think you have the saying where you. I don't know if you guys do this. You have this thing where you think of any book that you've read and you can think of one moment from it. And people say Words of Radiance. I think about either this one or Sadeas getting stabbed in the freaking eye, right? Because those are my 2 favorite moments. But yeah, this was my favorite chapter in the book until he murders the shit out of Sadeas. Look, I was fist pumping. I was on a plane reading this when it came out. It took everything I had not to like howl out loud. But you know, after I've had to think about it, I gotta wonder, did this happen too soon? Because I felt like Sadeas was set up to be kind of a really big villain or antagonist throughout the series. And I mean, I guess maybe we're shifting to Amaram now. I don't know, because I thought he was going to be there for a while. So the fact that Adolin just like stabs him through his eye, man, and then just like throws a sword out the window. It's like, my God, what in the hell what was your plan here? So again, while I was excited to see it because I hate the character, I do wonder if it's a bit too soon, because I feel like he had really developed a really good just weasel of a villain here, and to lose him in book 2, which again, these 2 books are as long as a regular series, right? But I don't know. Did you guys think it was too soon? I thought it might have been a little too soon. But it didn't make it less awesome. All right, so Kaladin still has I think he's got a ton of development still, this one. Not as much as the last one, but again, he's starting to learn more about his powers. You know, he sees some of the things that Szeth does in that attempted assassination on Dalinar, and he's like, I got to learn how to do this, learn how to do that, and I feel like it's believable. It's not a Mary Sue way. You know, it's not okay, I'm going to try this once or twice. You know, it's kind of the problem I have with a couple of things in Lycanius right now. Oh, that's incredible. How did you do that on like your first or second try? Oh, I don't know. I'm glad that it didn't really do that with Kaladin. He has to work. He screws up, but he practices a lot. And what I said in the non-spoilers, I'm glad that he didn't just bog us down with training scenes. You know, I felt like every time he did, there was something big going on in the background that kept the story moving forward. That's what makes it really, really good stuff. But I think when Amaram shows up, that's when his story really takes. Because at first I was like, this is kind of slow for Kaladin here. But when Amaram shows up and Dalinar vouches for him, that's the worst. It's like if you just made this new friend, you know, the last year you guys have become really, really close, and then you find out one of his closest friends is someone you like hated back in high school. That's what I kind of thought about it. But it's absolutely, it's frustrating because, you know, he owes Dalinar his life, man, and he will do anything for the man. So when Dalinar is like, no, Amaram's fine, I promise he's not evil. He's a good dude. Don't know. Come on, trust me. And he's just got to kind of eat a shitburger on this one. It's rough. It's rough for him. But again, if it wasn't for Sadeas, I'd hate Amaram just like I did. But Sadeas is just on another level compared to Amaram. But so, like I said, I think maybe he might be the new human villain, I guess you'd say, for the series right now. I don't know. Really want to call him a villain, just pretty much like an antagonist, because he's not like he's a Voidbringer or something, but you know, he's not much worse, right? I guess, is Taravangian the villain of this series? I didn't talk about Taravangian in the non-spoiler stuff because, yeah, it's just such a huge reveal. But I don't know. I want to know what Taravangian's endgame is here. I think I know, but I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait until we talk about Oathbringer. But I already talked about the budding friendship between him and Adolin, obviously, when he comes to him. But I really thought Adolin, after Kaladin's like a complete idiot and challenges Amaram after he saves him there and he gets thrown in prison, it was really awesome of Adolin to, like, you know, protest and go into jail too, saying he wouldn't let himself out of jail until Kaladin's let out of jail. So it's really good. I really like the friendship there. Like I said, I need like a Luke Han Leia thing here, and that means without the brother and sister part, but where Kaladin is Luke here, and he needs to do his own thing. Give him his Marrow Jade, okay? Don't let Adolin and Shallan. These names are similar sometimes, aren't they? Adolin and Shallan here. Let them be the Han and Leia, and then you got Kaladin over here doing his own thing. You know, hero's journey. So that's my hope there. I really don't like love triangles, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but the wildest thing in this book to me was the development for Moash. You know, he basically wants to kill the king. And here's the even more messed up thing about it is Kaladin, not little Mr. Goody Two-Shoes like I talked about last time, he starts considering letting it happen. He thinks maybe Elcar being removed from power here, or killed, is probably be good for the kingdom. So he just kind of like, you know, turns his blind eye to it, but, you know, he kind of changes his mind at the last minute. And, you know, he speaks the ideals, and it's just such an awesome, awesome moment. It's the reason I use it in the intro, because I don't think there's anybody who doesn't like that part of the book. It's just so awesome. But yeah, big disappointment in Moash, but I don't know if there's a redemptive arc there for him or not. But yeah, it was a nice development for a character that I didn't expect it from. So that was a nice little side plot there. But yeah, when he's fighting off Moash and Syl turns into a freaking Shardblade, that is something else. So finally being like, oh, so some of these Sprint actually have more of a point than just being like floating emojis. That was really, really good stuff. And it made their relationship all the more special, I thought. So really, really awesome. What else can I say? I want a Shardblade so bad. But Dalinar, the moment for him that sticks out with me in this book is when Seth is there to assassinate him and goes to kill him, and he just like reaches up and stops like his downward swing. What kind of a gangster does that, man? Dalinar's just he's just a boss, man. What can you do? But he's mostly just trying to found the Knight's Radiance in this, which is really cool, especially when you find out that Renarin's won, which is just so good. But I don't think it's a lot that I can really talk about with Dalinar in this book, because, you know, it's just the same thing, just the visions, trying to find, he wants him to the Stormfather wants him to found the Knight's Radiant, stuff like that, which he actually makes Amaram one. Oh man, poor Kaladin, he just can't get any luck. But yeah, it's good stuff, but I don't feel like there's a ton. This isn't the book where I think, oh yeah, this is the book where Dalinar does this, and this. That's the next book, right? That's the first book for me. So there we go. That's kind of all I really have to talk about here. If I'm missing something huge from Dalinar, please, that's what this is for. Drop in the comments. Let me know what you thought about Dalinar's big moments in this book. I think I want to talk a little bit more about the Dalinar and Renarin relationship maybe next week more than here, because I haven't had really time to really process my thoughts. Just know that as a father of a young child that has developmental issues, the way that Dalinar is with Renarin, that again, like I said last week with Kaladin, where I felt like I had things with the depression that really resonated with me, that really got to me, because it was something that was, at the time, it was something that, you know, we were just learning about when I read this, about him having these issues. So it was something that really hit home in Oathbringer, which I'll get into. But yeah, just know that is coming. I am going to be talking about Renarin much more next week. But yeah, here we go. Shallan, she really is the bread and butter of this book, and it's bloody brilliant. I can't get over just how wonderful her story is. You know, Yasna dying really seemed like the beginning of her hero's journey arc. That was her Obi-Wan, right? So now she's got to kind of make it on her own. She starts doing the stuff with the Ghost Bloods, which really doesn't take off too much in this one, but will. I think you get it revealed to Capsule. Again, I can't remember if it was Capsule or Caspel. Capsule? I think it's Capsule. The jelly guy, but that he was one of the Ghost Bloods. So you know, nice little hook there. But it's just her flashbacks. Her flashbacks are so good. And I mean, this whole time you're led to believe that all this stuff about her family. You believe that her dad killed her mom and things like that. And you find out that she is the one who killed her mom and kind of went into just like this state of shock and doesn't remember any of it. It's just, again, you find out, I come from a messed up family. I look dysfunctional as hell. I talk to my mom, that's about it. I don't really speak to my brother very much anymore. It's just one of those things that, you know, we were never really close as a family because, you know, it was a dysfunctional family where they were divorced. So I know what it was like dealing with family problems. Obviously, it's not to the extreme that these guys have. But again, that's something that I feel like I can identify with, is that, you know, you don't get to pick your family. And sometimes they're just messed up, and all you can do is try to help them, even if they don't want your help. That's just that's what family's all about, right? So yeah, it really clicked with me. Again, I think that's why I like Shallan so much as a character. People have a ton of time, why do you like Shallan so much? And no, it's not just because she's a redhead. It doesn't hurt. Anyway, guys, that doesn't help for me in fiction, just letting you know. But besides, Shallan and Adolin, their betrothal is just like super cute. I don't know what I expected. It's like, look, they're both obviously attractive people. They're attracted to each other. But the fact that it seems like they kind of hit it off well. They click pretty well. That was encouraging to me. I was afraid either he was going to be like, oh, I don't want some poor whatever girl or something like that. But again, I think that Adolin is very chivalrous. And it's not what I expected out of that type of character. So I think that's why I really appreciate him so much. So again, guys, if you aren't catching it here, the characters. I love these characters. I care about these characters. I'm invested in almost all of them. And that's impressive for a cast this large. But there is one thing, while I say I'm against the whole love triangle thing, I will say that the scenes with Kaladin and Shallan in the chasms against the Chasm Fiend, those were excellent. I thought the banter was really good, even if I felt like it was playful, flirty, and I knew where that was going. But yeah, it was good. It was good writing by Sanderson. Obviously, I mean, that's why we're here, right? It's because Sanderson. Breaking news: Brandon Sanderson's a good writer. But I usually feel like some of his flirtatious or, you know, cutesy dialogue can get a little, this feels like this should be in one of your YA stories, Brandon. But here I felt like it was pretty good. It really was believable to me, the way that people like that would talk to each other, where they're standoffish but they're kind of into each other. So but again, when you get it revealed that Pattern is a shard blade too, this is when this book just really just opens up your eyes. So I love it, guys. I feel like I go on and on and on and on for spoilers for this book for about an hour, but I feel like right now this spoiler talk is longer than the actual review was. So what I want to do with this, guys, really is just kind of open this up as a forum for everybody to talk about below. I know I probably didn't hit your favorite moment, maybe not. I don't know. I have many more that I could go on about forever, because this is an 1,100 page book and I love all 1,100 pages of it. So yeah, I couldn't hit everything, but just know that I do know it, I do remember it, and I do love it, and I do want to talk to you about it. So hit me in the comments, guys. I can't wait to talk to you then, and we'll be talking about Oathbringer next week. It's my least favorite in the series, but it's still a Stormlight book, right? We'll talk about it then, guys. I'll talk to you in the comments.